Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today, I'm here with an opinion video, sorta. It's about large format photography. You read the title, so you kind of know. But it's like, why should you not probably get into 8x10? Or is 8x10 a good idea? I'm going to start with an unpopular opinion, I think, between most people. And is that 8x10 is probably not for you. And I'm going to explain why. So, first of all, nowadays 8x10 has become increasingly popular with cameras like Intrepid's camera, which is under $1,000. Stenopeka has some too. Ghibellini has some too. And Woody Man has a couple too, I think, that are under 1,000 or close to 1,000. And that's very, very inexpensive for 8x10 traditionally. So what's the deal with that? Well, the problem is 8x10 looks extremely appealing when you look at the photographers out there that have been shooting it for years. Stephen Shore, Nicholas Nixon, and many others. I can't really right now. Joel, I can't say the name. Joel's the guy that did the 9/11 pictures on 8x10 and stuff like that. So, why is it probably not a good idea? 8x10, even though there's inexpensive-ish cameras nowadays, they are a lot of other prices into the other extra goodies that are really high. First of one is film. So I have a box of film here. This is not new film, but a box of color film from Fuji, from Kodak is around $200, and that is in the US, where prices are probably cheapest than any other place. This in Europe is around 300 euros, which means 30 euros per sheet, plus developing, plus scanning. That gets extremely expensive per shot. Then we do have black and white options, which is great. There's, all kinds of brands. You've got Ilford, you've got FOMA, you've got Adox, you have all these other things. Kodak too, Fuji doing color, no black and white nowadays, color slides. But yeah, the price is really, really high, which that means is that any issue while you're shooting, while you're developing, while you're, loading or unloading your sheet film can be a very expensive problem. Then we get into the next step, which is lenses. Lenses in large format have been, they're getting really cheap nowadays. They've gotten really cheap compared to what they were new. But when you go to 8x10, you need a bigger circle. That's the main problem. So right now we have a P2 here in the back. And this camera needs a lens that will cover this whole circle and more so you can do movements. The problem is for that, you need a very expensive lens that, for example, this lens is a 165 super angle-on f8, and this has coverage for movements in 8x10. But first of all, you see the size, okay? This is a bottle of old Rodino. I don't know how big this is, but it's pretty small. That's how big it is. My hand here, my fist. Huge lenses, expensive glass. This is a Copo 3.2. This is of, I think, 355. Oh no, the 450 from Nikon. This is a great lens for 8x10, but they're getting big and they're getting expensive when you get to this size. They're hard to find nowadays. They're getting pricier by the second. More people are trying to shoot 8x10. So yeah, lenses are expensive. Then you need a tripod that can hold 8x10 cameras, which is not your usual 4x5 Intrepid or Chamonix, which weighs like a kilo and a half, pretty much the same as a medium format camera. They're getting heavy. Then you need a tripod head, which has to hold those huge cameras with precision. So you need something more than those Amazon tripods some people are using for little cameras. So once you get into 8x10, there's a lot of things. Let's start with, like I said, camera. Much bigger, much more expensive, much heavier. We have film holders. That's a huge problem. Film holders are going nowadays for around $150 to $200. They used to sell for $50, not much anymore like that. You can buy them new from Toyo, Chamonix. They're around $250 a film holder. Then you can buy old ones, but sometimes they got issues and they still sell for $100, $150. So film holders, lenses, like I said, not for all 4x5 lenses don't cover 8x10. All 8x10 lenses cover 4x5. So there's less lenses. Then we get into, you need a dark cloth, which is much bigger, tripod much heavier, tripod head much stronger. Then developing is really expensive, shipping is really expensive, the film is really expensive to ship and all that. So at the end of the day, there's many things. Another thing that a lot of people forget to know is that on 8x10, depth of field is even more of a problem because the bigger the camera, the smaller the depth of field. So f22 that works great on 4x5 maybe won't work so great on 8x10. Another thing is the camera is much bigger. Like you can see, it's way more prone to move with wind. So of course, like I said, you need a sturdier camera, sturdier tripod, sturdier everything. Once again, more problems. So yeah, on the end of the day, do I recommend getting into 8x10? Usually, no. Does that mean you shouldn't get into 8x10? No, you don't have to listen to me at all. You're probably here just looking at this video, wondering why should I get. But I highly suggest if you're going to get into 8x10, try 4x5. Shoot a lot of 4x5, which is what a lot of us haven't done before getting into 8x10, including myself. Learn all the quirks, learn all the things, and then maybe get into 8x10. Once you get into it, it's amazing. That ground glass is really big, like you saw before. It's an 8x10 ground glass. It's a sheet of paper. Composing in this is a wonder. Architectural photography on this is a wonder, but depth of field is a bummer. So there's a lot of perks. And then when you do contact prints, it's amazing, beautiful. You can do alternative processes, anything like that. So 8x10, like I said, not for everyone. Probably don't get too like hot-headed and buy it. Take your time, shoot more other formats, and then move into 8x10. That's what I recommend. It's probably, like I said, unpopular opinion. Probably will get some people saying, oh, I shoot this inexpensive camera. There are some options. There are some lenses. But in general, it's way more expensive to use. And as I said, and this is something I said in the Spanish video, I did this video in Spanish, people told me to make it in English. Everybody's budget is different. So if you can barely afford to buy the cheapest film of them all, or the tripod, you can't buy the one you want, just wait a little bit, see how you like other formats, maybe step down the road. If 8x10 is a bit of a leap, maybe you should reconsider going to smaller formats. Doesn't mean that your sheet film, because it's bigger, is going to be better. That's another big deal. Bigger doesn't mean better. Starts getting into a very annoying workflow with big sheets. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, not really an opinion video, just kind of like my thoughts on 8x10 and why you should or shouldn't get into it. I might make a video of why you should get into 8x10, but I basically mentioned the reasons throughout this video. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful somehow. And see you in the next one. Bye.